What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with the one, the only, the spine-tingling El Cholo del Moco.
Gershwan!
And today we're back at it to answer questions from you guys, the ghouls and ghoulettes of One Mind Syndicate, in this series, I guess you can call it that we like to call, for the greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And that is what... Oh, and if you guys want to support the channel, if you enjoy listening to us, don't forget to that you can support the channel with a super thanks. Super thanks allows you to ask a question and it's a guaranteed answer. But with that said, this question comes from No Name. Will the Golden Throne be fixable due to the Leagues of Voltan had essentially the dark age of technology science advancements? Good question. So I guess the general question is, can the Golden Throne be fixed?
Yeah, so the Golden Throne is rumored to be Old One technology. It is essentially a piece of ancient technology that is almost used like a battery of sorts. But over time, it was kind of repurposed to become a life support system for the Emperor. The Emperor's first thoughts were to have Magnus the Red sit upon the throne and basically have the Astronomicon be used through the magic might of Magnus. However, with the Horus Heresy and everything, that did not come to pass. So it's now a life support system that is slowly failing. And because of that, the Emperor will surely die at some point in the future, unless that is repaired. So in what ways could the throne be repaired? There's quite a few different things that we can do, but one of the main ones that's stopping anybody and anything from even doing it is that it is such a holy piece of technology. And not just that, but it has the literal Emperor sitting on it, that not just anybody can go in there and fix it.
Right, yeah. So it's difficult to even get to and tinker with it or anything like that. And at the end of the day, it's Old One technology. And you're speaking of the Leagues of Voltan from the Golden Age of technology, or having information from the Golden Age of technology. And that's like not even close to Old One tech.
Right.
Old One tech, I like to think of it, because like the other purpose of the Golden Throne was supposed to be as a webway controller.
Yes.
Kind of thing, like a remote. And the reason that happens, I like to think of it as almost like, what is the Eldar? Wraithbone. Where there is some psychic element to the Golden Throne that probably powers the Emperor, and the Emperor can wield it through that psychic power. And yeah, like the Leagues of Voltans themselves probably cannot.
Yeah, even though they've got the Vols, these orbs of STC knowledge and technology, I don't think it's to the point of Old One tech. So yeah, of course, I don't think they'd be able to do anything with it. Not just that, so if the Vols can't do it, / the Votan can't do it, that pretty much means that the Tau won't be able to do it, even though they're pretty powerful with technology, and that also means that the AdMech cannot work on it as well.
Right.
Which only leaves one, and I think that's the Necrons.
Exactly.
The Necrons were around with the old ones. They went to war against them. So maybe the Necrons are the only ones that could fix it, but I mean, there's no way they're going to fix it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
There is, I think, another thing, chaos, because the Blackstone fortresses are basically Old One technology as well. That has been manipulated by chaos or some Xenos force. So, like, some form of chaos could probably tinker with the Golden Throne.
Yeah.
But then the problem is like...
Yeah, it's freaking chaos.
Yeah, it's chaos.
Yeah. So, yeah, unfortunately, the throne is just destined to go to waste. And with it, the Emperor.
And that will bring about the end of 40K and into 50K.
Perhaps, yeah.
Hopefully. Let's cross our fingers.
Yeah, and not just that, but if you guys see the newest cover for the newest Horus Heresy Siege of Terra book, you see the Golden Throne and just how massive it is. And you see all the Adeptus Astartes there guarding it. It's a really cool piece of art.
Yeah. Good question. The next one comes from the Space Marine. What is it about Gilliman's sword that causes true death to a demon? How do weapons like the Kennebrek Anathema work? How does one trap a demon inside a sword or other weapon?
Yeah, so that's a lot of good questions. But yeah, basically Gilliman's sword is the Emperor's sword. That burning, psychically powerful sword that channels the user's psychic might into the blade is what causes true death to the demons. So basically, you got to fight fire with fire. Fight demons with the warp, which is what the Emperor knew, and that's why he also created the Grey Knights, because they are the antithesis to chaos. So you could kind of see the sword being an extension of that, so that's why they could defeat chaos. Moving on to your second thing about weapons, the Kinnabrak Enethame. That is a Xenos technology, but it may have some type of chaos influence to it as well. Basically, you attune the blade to a certain enemy, and even a scratch is enough to kill whatever enemy it has been attuned to. It is what Erebus used to basically start the whole heresy, and I think it scratched Horus's shoulder when he was fighting against this one dude on Davin's moon who was being possessed by Nurgle. And again, a normal hit like that shouldn't even, kill Horus, but because it was attuned to him specifically, the blade almost has a sentience to it, and it is even stronger than the wielder. So the wielder, like I said, was a Nurgle follower. Nurgle's supposed to be slow, kind of just tanky, but the blade was moving with like supernatural speed, reflexes, that type of thing. So that's how that blade works. And then lastly, how does one trap a demon in a sword or other weapon? You lead it with crumbs of like candy and bread and that.
Or blood, skulls.
Yeah. And then you pull the string and the box falls, and then the demon and the weapon and the sword is in the box, and eventually when you pull the box up, they're together.
Yep. Or you could do some type of profane, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Ritual to like summon some type of sword or something like that. Some of the more popular ones, like it's like entire planetary sacrifices and stuff like that.
Yeah. The Dark Mechanicus have rituals to bind demons into inanimate objects, be it like armor, weapons, a whole freaking demon engine. So yeah, the Dark Mechanicus know the insides and the outs when it comes to demon binding.
Yep. Next question comes from Dave the Finder. Can Karn eat all of the Five Guys fries? Five Guys is cool because they throw in like bag fries and they're really soggy. But Karn cares not for Five Guys fries. He just wants to kill all Five Guys.
That's a lot of guys when you think about it.
5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's 3 more than right now.
This next one is by Isaac Hahn. If a human Guevesa in the Tau Empire invents a new machine, like say a toaster, can the Adeptus Mechanicus claim it as human tech? Unfortunately, no, because by being a Guevesa, they are under the protection of the "for the greater good" mantra, so they are no longer praying or being part of the Imperium and to the Imperial Truth and the Emperor and all that. They have basically cast that aside, and they're now a part of the Tau. So they are ruled and classified as Xenos.
Right. Very weird that class is.
Mm-hmm.
Next question comes from the big one. Do you guys think that the Emperor of Mankind was an asthmatic?
Asthmatic?
Asthmatic. As in, fat boy cheeks made him short of breath. I should have read the second part. That would have explained everything. He could be whatever he wants. I mean, he can be a little girl and a dog. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, speaking from someone who suffers from asthma, it really sucks. Because I mean, the most basic thing that you should be able to do without even thinking about it is breathing, right? And you can't even do that right.
Do you guys have like shortness of breath? Like, have you ever tried to see like, is it like a quick like kind of breath, or is it like a long? Have you ever paid attention to your breath?
It's been a long time because my asthma is exercise induced, and I don't exercise except my brain. But yeah, it's basically shortness of breath when it comes to me.
But on a day-to-day, do you ever notice like I breathe less?
No.
Or quicker than most people?
Not that I'm aware of, at least.
Because we've all been in those situations where you're like at the GW store or something, and then someone's like heavy breathing, and you're like, God damn, that dude's taking some heavy ass breath.
I only noticed that at like theaters.
Oh yeah, because everybody's quiet.
Mm-hmm. And then you just hear somebody in like the corner go, I'm like, damn, we got Vader in here?
Last question. What you got?
This one is by, Denzel Rhea. Since Erda is now officially canon as the mother of the Primarchs, would it be possible that they have her gene seed locked away? And if so, can they use her gene seed to finally create female space marines? I doubt it. Erda is a perpetual, and she kind of had a little fling or a little thing going on with the Emperor. So where she's like the mother of the Primarchs, you can say that the Emperor is the father of the Primarchs, and her genes were used to create the Primarchs. So you could kind of already see it as it already happened. But I don't think they could be used to create Space Marines, because creating Primarchs is vastly different than creating Space Marines. And when it came to the creation of Space Marines, or the Astartes, it was another perpetual, I believe she was a perpetual, Amar Astartes. So that's where they get their name. But who knows? Things are constantly changing in the lore. We'll see what happens with that. But as of right now, no.
And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and listening to us. And we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah, keep those questions coming, and so will I. It's been the Sound Alchemist here with
Gershwan.
And we are out of here.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.